When you do good, you're German. When you do bad, you're Turkish.
Double H, double H, double H, double H, double H, double H.
So, Mesut Ozil has come out, and I have to do it like a part two on this because this is very deep. Because again, I told you, man, whenever you bring in this whole thing with racism and so forth, man, I go in deep with this. And this has many layers. So let's just, deal with the basic facts to begin with. So Mesut Ozil has retired from the German national team because of the racism and attacks that he received based on taking a photo with the Turkish president Erdogan, and he felt that he was viewed as a scapegoat. And my thing is this, because obviously, like I sort of work for a news channel and so forth, so I've known about Erdogan's very tricky politics, how he treats protesters, how heavy-handed his bodyguards are on protesters and the opposition. So again, I'm like, no, I'm not really a fan of a dictatorial way of governing. But my thing is this, and that's why I said, like, so if I take a photo with someone, which is what Ozil was saying, so I take a photo with somebody who represents the highest office, does that mean I now support them and everything that they do? It's similar to the whole thing with Trump, how there are some players who disagree with what Trump does, but they will still say, you know what, he holds the highest office. That's just what it is. So I'm taking a photo with the president. I'm not taking it. That's the thing. That's the key thing. I'm taking it with the president. I'm not taking it with Trump. So with Ozil, I'm taking a photo with the Turkish president, the person that holds the highest office of Turkey, which isn't a person. It's a position. So I'm not taking it with Erdogan, the guy who directs guys to beat up opposition, has dodgy politics, is very heavy-handed with dissent and so forth. I'm taking it with the Turkish president. I'm Turkish. I'm taking it with the president of Turkey. If we want to have a debate about politics, that's where we'll have a disagreement. But this is about politics. This is about me, Turkish player. Well, sorry, I'm half Turkish, taking it with this guy. And we live in a world of dual nationalities, which is, and also want to even do another video about France colonization and so forth. But let's just stick with this. It's the modern world. This isn't the 30s anymore. Back in the 30s or 40s, globalism wasn't a thing. People weren't really my great thing, and everybody was just where they were. It's 2018. People have dual nationalities, and for Ozil, the way in which he's left, he's German, but he has Turkish roots and he has Turkish ancestry. So once you now become German, you forgo your Turkish ancestry. Like, I know guys, a lot of Nigerian guys who've lived in England for over 10 years. They're citizens of England. They support England at cricket, rugby, football, and everything. But they still go back to Nigeria. They still have grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins who still live in Nigeria, and they still have a connection with their Nigerian ancestry. They're dual citizens. It's the reality of today's world. The simple reality of today's world, people are dual citizens. And so when Ozil just looked at the attacks that he received, because that's why I was having a debate with this dumb idiot who said that Ozil should have known that, that was a political move, taking the photo with Erdogan, and therefore he's being a hypocrite because he should expect, criticism for taking that photo. Criticism 100%. Even if I'm like, okay, but 100%, okay, fair enough. You deserve a level of criticism, and criticism in the sense of, do you know what this guy has done? You should not be seen with him because this guy has done atrocious things politically. That's different from focusing on someone being a Muslim, Turkish this, goat's effort, and all that kind of stuff, that's now crossing the line. And now making him the scapegoat. I told you, you saw my German post-match reviews and everything. Yeah, I mentioned also like that, but I told you, Joachim Löw is the head of the reasons why Germany flopped. Then you have Timo Werner, who had a poor World Cup. I didn't think he had a shot on target. Then you've got Thomas Muller. Then you have Boateng. Then you have Khedira. Then you have flipping Kimmich. There were guys who were trash for Germany. Okay, so it was a... But I told you, Joachim Löw, for me, I hold him fully... I hold him, he is the guy most responsible for why Germany were bad. He is the guy that, if there's a scapegoat, it's him. Because for me, I think it's due to the manager, the coach, who you pick, the team, the tactics, the approach, the preparation. It comes from me because those guys are talented. But obviously, when I looked at them, they were not prepared tactically or mentally. So how does that have to do with Ozil? But I think the beauty of what Ozil has done is that it's opened up a conversation. It's opened up a conversation. And I said, I want to do this in a separate video, the whole France colonization thing, because I think that deserves to be a separate video. But I just think staying with this right now is when you do good, you're German. When you do bad, you're Turkish. You're the immigrants. Sorry, man. You can't have... I hate double standards. You're either German, good or bad, or you're an immigrant, good or bad. So if you're successful and you do well, now it's the Turkish guy who does well. It's the German guy who does well with a bit of German there as well. So you keep that same energy. That's what, that's, as the saying goes, keep that same energy. And it's because I think Ozil, he's put a lot of people on blast. He's put a lot of people on blast. And I think that as a German, I can understand very, very hardcore Germans who are very proud of their country, very nationalistic, looking at Ozil and having an issue that, does the guy really embrace German culture and being German? He has his... If you have an issue with that, I wanted you to have that issue with him back in 2014. I wanted to have that issue back when he was perhaps one of the best playmakers in the world, when he was playing for Real Madrid. You can't now have the issue now when he didn't have the issue when he was good and amazing and one of the best playmakers. Keep the same energy. And it goes to my original point that I understand that there are people who are very nationalistic who will not accept people who are dual citizens. They're like, no, you're either German fully or you're not. But my thing about it is that it's the world that we live in. It is the world that we live in. And Ozil, on his day, is one of the best playmakers in the world. And that contributes and has contributed to Germany. Same thing for Khedira, same thing for Ilkay Gundogan, same thing for Boateng, same thing for Rudiger. These are guys who obviously have different ancestry, but they have contributed to Germany. So my thing is this, and I think it's the racism doesn't make sense. The criticism makes sense. But my response to that is that okay, criticize me, but it wasn't political. Me taking a picture with somebody who holds the highest office of me, of a country I'm connected to, that's just me taking the photo with a guy of the country that I'm connected to. But I get the criticism, and I think Ozil must accept that. Yeah, I get it and so forth. You don't agree with this politics, but the optics. So the criticism should be, Ozil, why are you supporting this dude? You shouldn't be supporting this dude. But the racism makes... So once you're now racist and now insulting his religion, Islam, Muslim, so forth, insulting his ancestry, that's not just criticism. Now that's no, you're being a racist. it doesn't correlate with the initial offense that he made. Just being real. Just being real. Let's just see how this unfolds, because he named names, man. He named names, and I think that already on Twitter, German is trending. And for me, like, I think, Germany already knows the past of neo-Nazism, Hitler, and so forth. But in my experience, the Germans that I've known and I've dealt with have been the most open, progressive kind of guys that I've known. And I think that Germany has really benefited from the multiculturalism, whether it's through rap, fashion, culture, and so forth. And 100% there are issues that are happening now, because that's all again, the stabbings, the attacks, and everything in the name of Allah. That's all bullcrap. But again, I get it, because that's an issue with the Islamic religion not really being concise in getting rid of those bloody pricks who abuse the religion. Because I'm not sure whether there's a religion that says, yo, man, just go and kill innocent people. So, but I can understand that kind of beef. But at the same time, for a lot of, this is Ozil. How are you, because see, that's what wants to do. You're taking your rage on the issues that you're having with the Islamic attacks, or so-called in the name of Islam, your racism, your insecurity, you're taking it out on an innocent guy. What has Ozil done to deserve to be called those things? That is the worst thing. What has Mesut Ozil done to be called those horrific things? Answer me. That's what I want to know. I want to know. So, because this has been going on, yes, Ozil, the criticism is fair, because the optics are bad based on what he's done politically. But there's no excuse for the racism and the kinds of things that he has been revealed being said by people in the flipping German FA. In the flipping German FA, that's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you for watching this video. Think about pledging and become a Half Football Hot patron. Pledge an amount each month and gain access to exclusive videos from your boy, the Football Hot, for more analysis. Peace.